Okay, I'm a two-time President Trump supporter. But what's going on right now is, I think it's great Pam Bondi's going after the MS-13 and all these gangs. And I would call that low-hanging fruit. But where are the arrests of the politicians that allowed that to happen in the first place? You know, they're here illegally. But then who allowed that to happen in the first place? Why are we not arresting them? Or why are there not already open investigations going on for that have not been announced? So I'm beginning to get the idea that William Cooper is correct and that comedian Carlton is correct, whatever his name was. They're all in a big tent, a big club that we are not in. And it's them really against us. What it is like a gentlemanly type of game they play with each other. I'm going to give you an example. I dated somebody who had a disagreement with a friend of his, and it was over some kind of financial decision or situation. Well, apparently, I don't know how people in Hollywood production got wind of their disagreement, but they thought it would be a good production to put on TV, on Judge Judy. They ended up turning it down, but they actually did talk about it and consider it. Like, you know, basically just to really just take a jab at one another, like, you know, for public record, as a good sport. Okay, nothing menace about it. They're friends. They're just disagreed on something, but probably had they made the production, they would have made it look like they were really angry with each other and they really did not get along. But in actuality, they did get along. Well, it's just like William Cooper put it, and William Cooper was actually in connections and in. He had inside information because he was in, I think he was in the Navy or the government. He had a lot of inside information. And the reason why he was also murdered is because, yeah, he was talking too much. Somebody like me, I mostly just connect dots is what I do. I connect dots and think for myself over the decades and years of things I've heard, patterns that I've seen. So I don't necessarily have like an insight to anything other than I just connect dots. So anyhow, so he was saying, he was mentioning, like, was it World War One, was it? He was saying it was actually, it was like, again, a game. It was a game between leaders. And I guess some leaders lost, and so then they were supposed to lose the war or whatever. But he mentioned Stalin. You could probably look it up. It was between Stalin and, who was it? Stalin and Russia, Stalin and Mussolini, I don't remember. Anyway, but it's all just a game. And it happens still today. I think what happens in Gaza, Israel and all this, I hate to say it, but these people don't care to sacrifice their own people. It's a game to them. They're not going to get killed. I'll tell you what, they'll get killed. What was it? Gaddafi. Apparently Gaddafi wanted to go back to the gold standard, or he wanted to go back to something more that was true. And so he wasn't playing games with the globalist. And because he wasn't playing games, he actually wanted to be honest with his people. They killed him for it. They made their people believe that he was trying to do them bad. And I don't really know the inside politics of what was going on in that land of his, but his own people killed him. I guess whatever governments got to a certain militia type group, and they ended up murdering him. And also with Saddam Hussein, same thing. There was no weapons of mass destruction. Saddam Hussein's a dictator. But, you know, at this point, I mean, our country, I think we have the idea that we're some kind of freedom or something. But in actuality, we're like really quite an oligarch, because people with all the money, corporations working in cahoots with like the merge, what do you call them? The hedge fund holders, BlackRock, Vanguard, and there's like another one. They're working with the globalists. They're working with the globalists, government, CIA, all mind control stuff. They prod us, they poke us, you know. They've done many tests of things like this over the decades. They've perfected this. They've perfected on how to prod us, how to shoving things down our throat. Like when we went from analog TV to now Wi-Fi, digital, right? We didn't have a choice in that. They just did it. They just did it. And they say, now you guys have to go get go get the kind of antennas that are going to be compatible with the new digital. The old TVs, you got to get rid of them. I mean, that was forced. LED lights, right? That changed overnight. That was pretty much just forced on us. We didn't ask for that. It just happened. So there's a lot of things that happen like this that we don't really never make a decision on, but they just like change it overnight, and we don't have any input or say on it. And it's harmful to us, right? Like the LED lights. Apparently those aren't good because the sin wave, there's like a frequency that's going on in the background that you don't really know, but it's actually a type of frequency that subconsciously it is messing with our bodies, and it's aging us faster. Cloud seeding causing the change of weathers. That's happening. They put chemicals in the air. We're breathing a lot of these chemicals. I mean, those chemicals they put in the air, I mean, what happens to the farmlands? Those soil takes it, and it's put into our foods. So, I mean, it's a whole domino effect. It's a whole domino effect of like a mind control, a prodding for decisions that we did not choose. Something that was good, they changed it on us, you know. People mostly drink bottled water now. We don't trust tap water. Tap water can't be trusted. I'll turn on my water, and sometimes I'll get this black flush coming out. Like, I don't understand what it is, and I really haven't asked what it is. But yeah, I get that. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, imagine that stuff. Oh my God, no. Anyway, but so I have a problem with what's going on. Pam Bondi, that's great that you're going after these MS-13, and Bowman. She's down there at the jails and wanting to make sure the cameras are following her and saying, I want people to take a look at this to really get the idea that if you are here illegally, this is going to be you. So you better just self-deport out of here and don't come here illegally. So, yeah, images do count. Images are huge. The Democrats already know this. They already gang up on everybody. On the news media runs to them because they're in their circle group and they're like saying, "Yeah, Republicans this." But really, quite honestly, it's all just a game to them. At the end of the day, they'll go out to the bar. Some of these congressmen, they'll go out to the bar together and have a drink. They'll go for a run together in the morning. And then they're in Congress for C-SPAN to show, and they're like arguing against each other. But then after that, they'll just go have a drink or go to each other's little backyard barbecue parties or whatever. That's what they do. It's them against us. And that's both parties. Until I see arrest and I see jail time, Gitmo time, I can already hear it. Everybody's saying, oh, just relax. You know, it takes time for this to gather evidence and this and that and gather evidence. And, you know, no, I'm sorry. I can already see it now, 3 years from now. Crickets, still no arrest. Oh, just wait. Because I remember the first time around, it was the same thing. Whenever Sessions left and a new AG came in, he could have did shit. He could have did stuff, but no, he didn't. They could have did stuff. No, they're all like Freemasons. They're all in the same freaking little club. So this is what I'm starting to gather. I'm not really getting excited anymore. I think it's bad, the situation, what's going on for the future of our kids. I mean, I would just say, get your kids indoctrinated up into the Freemasonry system because that's what they want. Get your kids indoctrinated into the, steal. Forget going to church. Just throw that out the window. Forget about the 10 Commandments. Just throw that out the window because it don't really matter. There's a 2-tier justice system. And once you get on board with them, that justice system doesn't apply to you. You can get away with murder. You can get away with money laundering. You can get away with breaking the law. It don't really matter because that's the example they show us. They'll come after. But I'm just sick and tired of it. I'm done. I'm almost pretty much done. It's sad that I have to say like this, really honestly, but even to Democrats, we really just need to band together and stop the BS with each other, the people wise, and we need to start going after these politicians because they're the ones robbing from us. We already know what's been going on with all this money. Apparently, I do think there's some good intentions, But ultimately, I also believe that, they say they got to tell us the truth and that we're supposed to accept it. Eyes wide open, they're telling us, just take this and just swallow the horse pill and there's nothing going to change. I think that's what's going on right now. They want us eyes wide open to deal with the miserable shit that they put us through, and they're going to continue to put us through, and that our children are going to have to go through. They want us eyes wide open because that's louche for them. That's the type of energy that they get, the satisfaction they get by trying to make us miserable. And a lot of times I get it. A lot of people just going on with their lives. Oh, I believe in God. Okay, I get it. I understand. But until it comes to when it comes to your backyard, it's too late. By then it's too late, and then you're going to be saying, poor me, poor me. People say, why do bad things happen to good people? Well, maybe if you were a little bit more active and like trying to push back, maybe you would have had your head on a swivel and be more aware. But it's bad. It's bad. They want to get the loose from us. They want us to basically succumb to the bullshit. I, for one, will not. I would always be speaking out. I hate to say it again. I am a two-time Trump supporter, but I'm starting to see more of the dots connecting, and I think it really leads back to. I know that there's been information being passed around about the Jewish Kabbalah. One Jewish Kabbalah system, it looks like a spider web. It's like a circles, bubbles, and then there's like bubbles here and then bubbles there, and then there's like lines connecting. They're all connecting. It's like, call that the Kabbalah. One image of that Kabbalah web, spider web, is that it deals with like spiritual things and how it affects the body. But then there's the other one. There's the other one that talks about the actual like type of chain of command. So there's like a little bit, what is the truth there, right? Which one is it? It's just deception. Again, governments just putting stuff like that out there. I think it has probably to do with both. And somewhere it's just a moving target. It's just about figuring out a little bit more and connecting the dots. But, yeah, ultimately it leads back a lot to Freemasonry. I was hearing this gentleman talk about his experience with Satanism, from Satanism going into Mormonism, from Mormonism, what was it, one or the other? Anyway, he went from Satanist to Mormonism to something else, and now he finally gave his life to Christ. He read a Bible, and there was a verse that he said all the other Bibles did not have the verse about that you can just go straight to Jesus and ask to, how does it go? To be born again. He didn't know that because the other Bibles would take out that scripture. Yeah, there's just a lot going on. We got to pray up. We got to pray up and show God that, we have the best intentions. He knows our hearts. Anyway, but yeah, that's what I got. That's what's going on, and it's sad I have to admit it, but it's true.